Now at 6, how the increase in Social Security benefits is impacting some 4-staters. Plus, the Kansas food sales tax dropped on Sunday, but some shoppers say their grocery bills are higher. We'll break down the issue. And the Joplin Public Library announces a new initiative to bring the reading community together.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Senior citizens receiving a big jump in Social Security are facing more than just a cost of living increase. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Carrie Worthen learned more about the changes for seniors as the first payments are sent out.
You and I both know that you cannot live on $845 a month.
Economic Security Corporation Joplin is helping bridge gaps as many seniors monitor their money.
I just got to take it. That's all I can do right now, take a day. But they're changing everything all the time. They're raising everything. They're raising Medicare and all that kind of crap, kind of stuff, and nobody's got any money to do anything anymore.
An 8.7% cost of living adjustment announced by the Social Security Administration has taken effect. That equals an extra $140 per month. In the face of inflation, some seniors may still need help.
That generation was raised to you work hard, you pay your bills, and you do the right thing. And so when they are unable to do that, it's very disheartening to them. You just need to take advantage of every little thing that they can because every little bit helps.
The increase could mean that some seniors won't qualify for other benefits that they were receiving, like Medicaid, food stamps, or rental assistance. Some may have to pay taxes on their benefits. One man says the real key is controlling inflation.
I just hope that they can get this all controlled, because you can't, where everybody's living day by day now as it is. And all the prices are going up. And they're not giving out stimulus anymore. And I don't think they're not taking any consideration for the security people, for low income and stuff like that. They got to do something.
Reporting in Joplin, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
The adjustment by the Social Security Administration is the largest in more than 40 years. Missouri's governor says he will not stop the execution of Amber McLaughlin, a death row inmate scheduled to die by lethal injection. Without clemency from Governor Parson, McLaughlin will become the first openly transgender woman executed in the United States. A jury convicted McLaughlin, at the time known as Scott McLaughlin, for killing a former girlfriend in 2003. However, it was a judge who sentenced McLaughlin to death after the jury couldn't agree on the punishment. Missouri is one of only 2 U.S. states, along with Indiana, that allows trial judges to impose death penalty sentences in the event of a deadlocked jury. Amber McLaughlin's execution was scheduled for just a few minutes ago, 6 o'clock this evening. Let's check in with Sam Lane for a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Dow. It's a big change from 24 hours ago where we were dealing with severe weather. Not the case tonight. Instead, we're seeing mostly fair skies and nothing on radar. As we go through the next 36 hours, over the last 36 hours, I should say, we tied a record high yesterday of 75, and now we're kind of on this slow trend downward with temperatures now in the 40s. And if we head out this evening, we're going to be around 45 now, but then we're going to be dropping down into the upper 30s and then all the way down to 30 degrees by tomorrow morning. Let's take a look down the lane. We're going to have a cool midweek, maybe some Saturday showers, but overall a dry pattern and maybe an extended mixture in our extended forecast. And we'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit.
City of Joplin is accepting proposals for a strategic plan to better serve the area's homeless population. Obviously the wrong graphic here. Officials say the proposal should include input from community organizations and County Homeless Coalition service providers. Sealed bid proposals will be accepted until March 1st at the Joplin City Manager's office. Andrew Bailey was sworn in today as the new Attorney General of Missouri. He is the state's 44th AG. Attorney General Eric Schmidt was elected by Missouri voters to serve in the U.S. Senate. Prior to Bailey's appointment by Governor Parson, he served as general counsel to the office of governor. Some Kansas shoppers find they're taxed twice for food items. It follows the first reduction in the state's food sales tax rate that took effect on Sunday. Now, a shopper in Wichita bought food items that should be taxed at the new rate, but he says instead he was taxed twice. One at the old rate of 6.5% plus the county sales tax rate of 1%, And then again at the new rate of 4% plus the county tax. Sean Loging spoke to the shopper and has more.
Instead of paying, the 5%, I literally paid 12.5% tax on my grocery bill.
Sunday, Sean Lawrence went to his local Walmart to stock up his pantry and do the bulk of his grocery shopping. He didn't pay much attention to his receipt until he got home.
My son-in-law said that the tax rate had changed, so we got to looking at it, and then I got to looking at it a little closer. I did the math on it, and I was like, hey, I got charged for both taxes on it.
Sean started doing the math, and that's when he noticed something wasn't adding up. Sean was getting taxed twice for the subtotal of all the items he bought, and that took him back to the store.
She's like, well, we've got a glitch going on. And I was like, okay, well, you need to let people know that that's happening because they're really getting charged extra for their taxes.
Under the new Kansas food sales tax rate, most grocery items will be taxed at 4%, plus any local sales tax rate, like Sedgwick County's at 1%. There are exemptions for items that will remain taxed at the old 6.5% plus local tax. This is an example from another shopper who only bought a handful of items that all should fall under the new state food sales tax rate, but were taxed at both the new and old rates.
And most people won't even notice it. I mean, it's such a small amount on each ticket that most people won't even notice it.
Sean says he was told by the store manager the glitch was being worked on, but what frustrated him wasn't the money, but that the store wasn't letting other customers know. Sean shared this issue on his Facebook page and learned it impacted grocery shoppers across the state at Walmarts and other stores.
She's like, well, we can take care of this with you and give you a gift card. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I said, but I mean, there's literally other people that have no idea that this is going on.
While the Kansas Department of Revenue does put out the information on the tax for various items, stores didn't make sure that their systems reflect that. Joplin Public Library today announced a new initiative. Joplin Reads Together is the library's first community read, which is a month-long event centered upon one adult book and will include programs during April, which will end with a visit from the author of the chosen book.
A new way that people in the community can access not just reading and literacy in a book, but one another, and events that they would be maybe interested in attending, our programs that we'll have in April, and then just to have a shared experience.
The 2023 book will be announced on the 31st of this month. Coming up, renovations of a theater in Coffeyville, Kansas uncover some old secrets. Plus, Pitt State women's basketball head coach looks back on the win against 9th-ranked MSSU. More than a dozen wallets from the 1950s were discovered inside an old theater in Coffeyville, Kansas. Now something old is new again. Amy Slanchik explains the discovery offers comfort to a woman who recently lost her husband.
Coffeyville's Midland Theater is undergoing multi-million-dollar renovations right now, and the discovery during construction work took everyone involved a few steps back in time.
A discovery of nearly 20 old wallets, presumably left behind in people's seats at the historic Midland Theater.
We found old time capsules doing demo in buildings that was kind of interesting, but I've never found anything like this.
Construction project manager Steve Berry says he found the wallets inside the old janitor's closet, pushed into space above the door.
I looked up and saw that red wallet, and I had to kind of stretch, but it was right here.
They just stick them up there and hide them. I don't know why they didn't just trash them, but that's okay. That's our treasure we found.
Steve says there wasn't any money inside, but pictures and handwritten notes that likely haven't been seen in decades. This bank passbook from 1951 was also found. It belonged to Paul Crandell, who died about 2 years ago.
We had our first date in 1952.
Now, his wife Irene, who says they would have celebrated 69 years of marriage this year, has a little piece of Paul's past.
Well, it's precious to have this. I put it in, our daughter sent a special box that I have his billfold and glasses and all things like that, so that's where I put this.
The book captures a moment in Paul's life when he was only making deposits.
He was saving money, I'm sure, to get clothes for college or maybe buy a car. And this shows his first 3 deposits in this book.
Across the street from the theater, a mural reads, "Our past fuels our future." And this glimpse into who enjoyed the theater in the past is now on the minds of everyone working to restore it.
Midland Theater was built in 1928. Renovations will include a ballroom that can hold up to 60 people and a stage and screen to watch movies and theater productions. A little bit later, Missouri Southern men's head coach Sam McMahon talks about the team's fourth straight win.
And a more return to normal conditions for January. I'll have all the details in your forecast when we come back. Well, yesterday we were tying record highs across the 4 states with temperatures in the mid-70s. Not so much today. Instead, we're back closer to normal with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Right now in Seneca, Missouri, you can see the sun setting there in the distance. Some mid-level clouds out there, some altocumulus over there in Seneca, Missouri at the Indigo Sky Casino Resort. Pretty nice night shaping up across the entire area. As I mentioned, we were a little bit closer to normal today. We still had a high of 64, 47 was the low, which was actually 2 degrees warmer than the normal high, 26 the normal low, and of course not anywhere close to the records of 74, nor the zero back in 1959. Rainfall last night was quite generous in some places. Not everybody got anything across the region. Here in the green, 1-inch amounts or more. The yellow, 2-inch amounts. So you can see some isolated 2-inch amounts there in Berry County. Also to the north and west of Fort Scott, a little bit heavier rain up there as well. This was all part of a big storm system which is now starting to spin over Iowa this evening. That's now moving up toward the north and east. But check this out. Even some mini supercells behind the cold front in Illinois producing some tornado warnings there. And of course, lots of severe weather in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia this evening. But fortunately, that severe weather is going to stay away from us for at least quite a bit. All right, let's take a look at the temperatures right now. Generally in the mid-40s across the area with westerly winds. It's already down to 39 up in Yates Center and Iola. And right now we're running about 20 to 25 degrees colder than we were 24 hours ago, but we are at least closer to normal for the first part of January. Dew points are in the 20s and 30s across our area, so we certainly have drier air in place tonight. 45 is what we're at right now. Feels like 39 because the wind's out of the west at 11. The pressure is rising and the dew point is at 30 degrees. Now tonight, we're going to see mostly fair skies. A few clouds passing by in the mid-levels, but nothing really significant. Lows are going to be in the upper 20s up to the north and west, 30s across the rest of the area, right around freezing. Then tomorrow, we'll see temperatures warming back up into the mid to upper 40s across our area with westerly winds. And then as we go into Wednesday night into Thursday morning, a cold front's going to sweep through the area, but it's not going to produce any precipitation. Instead, just a reinforcement of the colder, drier air with lows in the 20s. Then Thursday, we're going to see temperatures rising up into the upper 40s, maybe around 50 degrees for our friends down in south in Oklahoma. Then as we go through Thursday night into Friday morning, we'll see lows once again right around freezing, but a southeasterly wind. Now, on the bigger picture, we're seeing cooler air over our region, and that will stay in place for a few more days. Then it will slowly retreat back to the north and east with warmer weather coming in just in time for the weekend with a chance of showers in our forecast as well. Here's this next 7 days. 46 tomorrow, 45 Thursday, 55, double nickel on Friday, and then a chance of showers Saturday morning. And then as we head towards the early part of next week, temperatures more seasonable with highs in the 40s and 50s and lows in the 20s. So not too bad for January. It could be worse.
For sure, we'll take those temperatures.
All righty.
Thanks, Sam. Danny joins us now. The Nevada girls are on a roll this season.
They've won 7 straight games. Nevada hosts Webb City this evening. Those details coming up. And we'll hear from the Pitt State Gorillas following their big win over the 9th-ranked Missouri Southern Lions. The Pittsburgh State women started the week off on a high note, picking up their biggest win of the season last night. PSU knocked off the 9th-ranked Missouri Southern Lions. The Gorillas have challenged a few of the top teams in the league this season, Missouri Western and Central Missouri, but they couldn't close either of those games out. On Monday against Southern, the Gorillas were determined for a different outcome, and they made big plays down the stretch to seal the win.
They didn't want to feel that way again, and so the toughness that they displayed to just answer, because when you're playing the reigning MIAA Player of the Year and leading shot blocker and people that can stretch the floor in every position, you're going to have to make some plays. And so I was really proud of our girls for making plays. I think it really does put us on the map that we can be a top team, a top 25 team, and so now it gives you that confidence to do that.
The Missouri Southern men have been on a roll this past month. Southern dominated Pitt State 84-63 on Monday to earn its 4th straight win. 5 players scored in double figures. Winston Desisau led the way with a game-high 18 points.
I thought we had an overall really good game, both offensively and defensively. We've really established ourselves defensively by getting stops, and that transitioned us into our offense. We played at our pace, and just being off for so many days in a row, you never know how you're going to come out, but these guys really set the tone, really came out with energy and effort and toughness. And now we got to transition that into this road trip, and it's going to be tough. It doesn't get any easier with Fort Hays and Nebraska Kearney, so we got to be ready to go.
At the high school level, the Baxter Springs Lions host Girard this evening. Baxter is 5-2, while Girard is 2-1. Both teams are looking to bounce back after a loss their last time out. The Nevada girls are 9-2 this season, and they are on a 7-game winning streak. Tonight they host the 6-4 Webb City Cardinals. We'll have those highlights and highlights from Girard Baxter Springs tonight at 10.
And boy, how about those Pitt State women, huh?
Big win. And they have a lot more work to do this week with 2 games coming up.
There'll be some more big wins ahead of them. We'll be right back. Take some time now to honor a local veteran. Martin Henderson served in the U.S. Army from 1953 to 1961. The Elsmore, Kansas native served in the 595th Artillery 4th Army Division. And we're proud to salute Specialist 4th Class Martin Henderson, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Members of the Joplin community get a first-hand look at the new Dover Hill Elementary ahead of the new semester. Plus, reaction on Capitol Hill after the House fails to choose a new speaker in 3 votes. And what we're learning about what led an NFL player to collapse in the field during last night's game. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Now, an Atlanta area real estate agent who's not a professional golfer was recently invited to play golf's most prestigious event, the Masters. Scott Stalling says he received a package from Augusta National Golf Club with an invite for this April. He quickly realized, that's not right. That was a case of mistaken identity. The package was intended for a different Scott Stallings, who is, in fact, a pro golfer. To save the day, the realtor took the invitation to a local shipping store, mailed it to the 3-time PGA Tour winner. Those of us with really unusual names, you don't get mail to the wrong Dow quick. It just doesn't happen. But no, saves himself the embarrassment of going to that tournament, I guess.
Maybe he'll get an invite anyway.
Maybe he will.
All
Just out of gratitude.
Well, we're going to have pretty nice weather most of this week with maybe a few showers on Saturday morning and maybe a wintry mix next Thursday, but nothing really major.
A couple of things to get to here. First of all, we'll have a quick final sports note.
Yeah, the Nevada girls are looking for their 8th straight win tonight against the Webb City Cardinals. We'll have those highlights at 10.
The other point, very bittersweet for us, and that is that this is Danny's last night on the anchor desk as she leaves us to pursue another opportunity. I say bittersweet because it's always sad to see a friend go, but we know you are pursuing something else, and we wish you well and
absolutely
congratulate you for that.
Thank you. I definitely would describe it as bittersweet as well. I'm excited to move closer to family, but working here has been such an incredible experience. The sports are awesome and fun to cover. Everyone in the community has been so kind and generous to me, so it's a tough goodbye for sure.
See you at 10. We'll see you then as well. Let's make it a great evening.